Right now, Mediaocean CEO Bill Wise, your company, Bill, first, it's good to see you.
Hi, Maria.
Thank you so much for joining us. So your company serves as the platform for many of these Super Bowl ads earlier this year.
Sure.
Do you agree with that statement? If they don't turn this around, the company goes to hell?
The interesting part is the NFL is a media business. They rely on advertising for a substantial amount of their revenue. So as eyeballs go down, turn off the TV, revenues naturally go down. The other part is a lot of brands want a safe environment to associate their brand with. So controversy, while it could be a good thing, could also deter a lot of those brand marketers.
Have we seen marketers react yet?
We have not.
We have not.
We have not.
Okay.
We have not.
But we've also seen DirecTV actually talk about how they're going to give refunds to customers who want refunds, right? And so brands or companies only do that if they're getting pushbacks from the consumer. So we actually could start to see advertisers very soon start to talk about renegotiating or even Super Bowl ads coming down in price.
We haven't seen that yet, but it only takes a split second.
Now, but isn't it true, though, that the ratings weren't down this week? For all of the talk about this.
The Sunday night game was down double digits. And ratings last year during the entire season were off roughly 8 to 9% from the previous year. It's hard to tell based on one weekend because some of the games did okay. Some of the broadcast networks did okay. I think the CBS game, which went into overtime, had a decent rating. But again, over time, the ratings are in decline. And could it continue because of these protests?
And Turk about brand Bill O'Reilly very quickly. It was because of advertising. The advertisers pulled out. It's difficult to maintain a media empire without that support.
It's interesting because the numbers are so big. I mean, sports is such an important part of the business of television. And, if they were to start, but that's a big deal for like a PepsiCo or, one of the major advertisers for football.
There's very few programs that people watch live anymore, other than this one and sports.
That's right.
Well, I want to say one thing to the Green Bay Packers, who they're going to have a show of unity by locking arms, telling people in the stands. How about a show of unity by standing for the anthem and just putting your hand over your heart? Wouldn't that be, given the controversy, a more appropriate show of support to everybody in this country? I think they're not taking advantage of this, are they, Lee?
No.
That's one of the big issues. Is the NFL needs to take all the attention on the league and actually use it to their benefit, and they're not doing that.
Could they do that?
They absolutely could. And I think that the way that they could is, number one, you can't be curious and emotional at the same time. People are so emotional about this issue. So it's really hard for people who think you are not being patriotic to understand the point of the people who are protesting and saying, look, there's not racial inequality. I don't like the way that people are being treated. And so no one's listening to each other right now. So the NFL has a really unique opportunity to bring people together right now. We could stand behind the flag and we could stand behind the players at the same time. We could have conversations. We could be having dialogues. We could bring people like Ray Lewis. We could bring some of these great football players together, listen to what they have to say, talk to the communities, understand what's so great about this country, and bring them together. There's nothing more patriotic than football and baseball and a lot of these sports. And the way it brings communities together, people of all shapes, sizes, income levels come together, support these teams. And this is something the NFL could really, really do amazing job of bringing people together in such a divided country right now.
Completely agree.
And they're missing the mark. And you know what? Frankly, they have a job posting for online right now for somebody in comms. I hope they hire somebody that can really turn this thing around, because it is.
So you're saying important. That they're looking for a new communications director at the NFL?
They're looking. There's a job post for a crisis communications director at the NFL.
Are you kidding?
No, I'm serious.
I didn't know that. You would know that.
News you can use.
They're looking for a communications director at the NFL.
And Anthony's not going to take it because he's come out with his own news service.
So he won't. He's starting a news site.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And he's got to get advertisers on that news site, I guess.
Yeah, but he's not shortage of eyeballs. But it's funny because we keep talking about advertisers and we keep talking about media. But what about Hugh Hefner passing away today? How did he just transform not only publication but also how we consume media?
He was 91. He died at his Los Angeles mansion last night.
Absolutely. Yeah, those of us in advertising love iconic brands. and Hugh just embodied an iconic brand. And even for celebrity advertising, just took it to a whole nother level.
How did they get
But it's not worth it. The brand's not worth anything now, though. That was a brand that was
the brand was him.
One of the greatest in American history, in modern American history, and now it's virtually worthless.
That's the difficulty, associating a brand with an individual. Once that individual's gone, the brand's gone.
But they made majority of their money through licensing, right? Not necessarily through publication. So advertising wasn't really a big fundamental part of their business. Okay.
It was not.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Yeah, but the whole culture kind of turned against the brand, that it was about making money off of naked women. And even though that the sexuality in this country has changed dramatically and people freely post naked photos of themselves on Facebook and Twitter. You can't do it on Instagram. There's been such a cultural shift over the decades when Playboy
100%.
was at its peak and then in its decline.
Sure. It has certainly declined over the last couple of decades. But you can't take away the fact that Hugh Hefner himself is a major iconic brand.
What about your company celebrating 50th anniversary this year? Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Some of the big changes in the advertising business, you've had a front row seat watching.
It's been incredible. The last 10 years have been incredible. I think the next 10 years are going to be even more. But on this day, 1967, Mediaocean was born. Michael Donovan, iconic man in the industry, created the business, and it's still active today.
Is the biggest change the move to digital? I mean, what do you think has happened? That's like a structural change, right?
The biggest change is now it's a one-to-one marketing, right? It's not, television was a tonnage, many to one. Now you can target users one-to-one on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. Social media has changed the landscape.
So is the top two Facebook and Google?
Well,
yes, Google, then Facebook.
That actually is the story of Playboy. In a nutshell, that basically posing naked used to make Hugh Hefner money. And now with digital, these women, if you choose to pose naked, you make money for yourself.
Hey, it started Kim Kardashian's career.
Right, exactly.
Right.
Absolutely.
Wow. Bill, congratulations. Happy anniversary.
Thank you so much.
Good to see you, sir.